This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Coming up, hear from an author from our area who has 2 new books out. Greetings, friends. I hope everything is going great, and I thank you for watching. I'm Ken Carr with your local information. In today's news feature, Lisa Sugar talks with an author who wants to help people with their faith and finances.
He is the author of not 1, but 2 books. I'm pleased to be joined by our good friend, Don Gallade. You may know him as the CEO of GFS Financial, but he is also the author of 2 new books. The first one, In God We Trust, The Dollar We Worship. That's the name of the first book that's already been released. And the second one coming out now is 5 Steps, Your Guide to Financial Health. Don, thanks so much for joining us. How did these 2 books come about? Tell us what they're all about.
Okay, thanks for having me, first of all. The In God We Trust, The Dollar We Worship was a biblical approach to what does God say about our money. The second book, 5 Steps, Your Guide to Financial Health, that is pretty much everything that is non-biblical. That, if somebody says, hey, I need advice, I'm going to retire, and maybe they don't have a financial advisor, or they're trying to figure out who they should use as a financial advisor. So this has some really good self-help tips on how to qualify the person you want to do business with as a financial advisor, what questions to ask them, and how to pick the right one.
And this all falls into place too, because we know you from the Voice of John. You're involved with that. You're a producer of Christian media. So this all comes together nicely for you to put your financial hat on and also the Christian hat on as well, because you're trying to get everybody to see that there is a connection.
God cares about everything we do, and especially our money. So the first book is takes care of what you're supposed to do in your relationship with God. The second book is what you're supposed to do with your relationship with your financial advisor and your finances. What's an IRA? What's a mutual fund? How does this work? How do these things work? And it's kind of like a real basic 101 course in finance, things that you should know before you start talking to somebody who starts telling you these are the things you have or should have.
What happened that these books now took off? Were you surprised? Did you expect this to happen? Where are they at right now? Because you're doing quite well with them.
I hired an actual publishing company that took the reins, and they did. I don't know how they do that. It's of my pay grade, but whatever they did, we hit international levels, international best-selling levels in multiple countries, in multiple genres. There's Christian help, there's a bestseller in financial services. There's all these different categories and subcategories on Amazon, and I don't know, there's like 23 of them that they told me that we were on. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. If they went to inthedollarweworship.com, there's a link to both books. And they are actually cheaper now because they're going to boost the price once all this promotion is done. So the books are cheaper now. Next week, they're going to probably be more. So now's the time to get them.
Now, I must admit, I read the article in the Standard Speaker, and it said how you came about to writing this. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So can you give us a brief synopsis on how you even decided to write and combine this all together?
More than 10 years ago, I guess, my wife was on a missions trip to Africa, and we were homeschooling our kids while she was homeschooling them. I was playing Mr. Mom, and I was scrolling through the channels, and every single channel I landed on was some Bible guy talking about money, and it would happen like 10 times in a row. And I was like, oh, this is what I do all day long. I don't want to do it now. And long story short, I felt the Holy Spirit saying, you should write a book. I laughed. I opened up the laptop, started typing, and there it is.
This is an interesting mix to put together. And, people might need advice on, both aspects of this,
Sure.
And I mean, that is a thought, because you wonder, does God want me to have money? Am I supposed to be wealthy? Am I supposed to be poor? What am I supposed to be? So this kind of blends that.
He wants us to be successful in that we can pay our bills. He wants us to take care of the poor, and we can't take care of the poor unless we have money. The love of money is the issue, okay? Because people always say all the time that money is the root, but it's actually the love of money. So it's a little bit different. And it's kind of neat when you start digging into it. It started off as just something fun, and then it just turned into something awesome.
We want everybody to know again, In God We Trust, The Dollar We Worship, the first book, and the second book, 5 Steps, Your Guide to Financial Health, both authored by the one and only Don Galate. Thanks so much for joining us. And
Thanks for having me.
But success with the books, and come back and talk to us again.
We shall. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Remember, in an emergency, our emergency room is the safest place to be.
The Pennsylvania 11 to 12-year-old Little League All-Star Tournament wrapped up at Whispering Willows Park in Cunningham on Friday. Upper Providence fought their way through the elimination bracket, knocked off unbeaten Greencastle on Thursday, and then went on to win the championship 2-1 on Friday. They move on to the Mid-Atlantic Region Tournament now with a chance to play in this year's Little League World Series.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. On Tuesday, increasing clouds with a high in the 70s. Tuesday night, patchy fog after 4 a.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a low in the 50s. Wednesday, patchy fog before 8 a.m., otherwise mostly sunny with a high in the 70s. Wednesday night, patchy fog between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., otherwise partly cloudy with a low in the 50s. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high in the 70s. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 60 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 80 degrees. And Friday night, partly cloudy with a low in the 60s. The weather is brought to you by Valley High Food Drive-In in West Hazleton. They're open Monday through Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. These hours may vary as they work on staffing for the summer, so call ahead or check them out on Facebook. Coming up next, we talk about the return of the popular Wine and Beer Festival hosted by the Hazleton Rotary Club. And in sports, hear from a champion golfer, a valedictorian. You know what, I don't have time to list all of Isabel Ritz's accomplishments here, so you'll have to stay tuned. Also, after this break, it's Adopt Me from the Hazleton Animal Shelter.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. PTPA presents Something Rotten each weekend from July 30th through August 15th. For a full list of show times and for ticket information, you can visit ptpashows.org. The Tamaqua area return to school orientation for new or returning high school students will be held on Thursday, August 12th at 6 p.m. Parents and students should meet in the school district auditorium to begin the orientation. For more information, you can contact Tom McCabe at the email on your screen. The Pennsylvania State Police Troop N is initiating a new program called Troop N Junior Law and Leadership Academy. The program will be held from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on August 23rd through August 27th at the Kingston Armory. The deadline to apply is August 13th. To apply, you can call 570-459-3900, extension 269. PTPA Summer Camp will be held from August 8th through August 14th. The camp will be $150 per camper. For family discounts or for more information, you can visit ptpashows.org. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Ellen Garrett of Newton, Connecticut. Services were previously held in Connecticut. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.